Hey, Kyle here with Century Lawn and Landscape. I'm going to talk about our aerification process. And a lot of times this will also go by aeration, and there are a couple other different names you can call it, but it's all the same process. The machine that we generally use is actually sitting right here behind me for residential lawns. It's about similar size to a just a regular lawnmower, 21-inch lawnmower. But some of the benefits that we have for this are going to be to relieve compaction, and it'll also improve water movement through the soil and nutrient penetration through the soil as well. And the machine that we use, I'll show you the tines as well. It's about a half inch, 3/4 inch hollow tine. It'll pull a core, and that core will sit up on top of the grass. And a lot of times you just chop it up with your lawnmower, and it'll redisperse everything back into the soil. But the time that we like to use this in is during the growing season. So typically between March and September. You don't want to use this during the winter months, especially when it's cooler, when your grass is growing or not growing. You need the time for the grass to recover over the holes. If you have exposed holes, especially during a hard freeze, you can actually do some damage to your grass. So we only want to use this during the growing season, and we like to run this along with the top dressing, which actually the machine is actually sitting, the blue one behind me, in conjunction with the air fire. But the first thing we do is on relieving compaction. Your soil will actually get, whether it's machines, whether it's just time, mowers, installing a pool, or even from construction, just the equipment around your house. The soil will actually, the air space in the soil is reduced quite a bit. So what this machine will do will fracture the soil structure, remove some of that material, and allow more air pockets in there. So the oxygen exchange rate is a lot higher. And it's very important to a root system to have oxygen. The roots will, with relief of compaction, will spread farther, be more dense and deeper, which will actually help you out in the summer months with the watering, because the deeper those roots are, the less frequent you're going to have to water or need to water. The other thing we're doing with the nutrients is, especially it goes along with compaction, especially granular fertilizers or compost or anything that you put on top of your lawn cannot penetrate that top layer, especially going to sit on top, it's not going to be as effective. It'll break down on the surface, maybe even wash off. There are a number of things that right there, just having a real compact layer on top, that's going to reduce the water and the nutrient movement through the soil. But as you can see, the tines are laid out. They're basically on a roller drum, and they will punch into the ground, generally between 2 and 4 inches, and it all kind of depends on how dense your soil is, how compacted it is, and how much of a soil layer you have. We see with a lot of brand new homes that there's very little soil and rock is pretty shallow. And the process that we use is we will come out. We either have you mark your heads, or we can mark them as well. But we mark all the irrigation heads so we don't hit them, and we'll actually call the locate request service we're mainly after the cable line, because they never bury those deep enough, so we don't want to hit those. And then afterwards, you can let them dry, the plugs dry out, chop them up with a lawnmower, and we also want to get at least the watering on them, within the next day or two, because your grass will dry a little bit faster. But if we get one cycle of water on it, it'll be just fine, and then return to normal. But that's our process for aerifying. And if you have any questions, you can always give us a call. We try to run this machine. It's through the growing season, very beneficial for your soil and your turf health.